they have to be the Shaktis. They have to respect themselves. Their chastity. But so surprising that when we see outside all these things happening, even after coming to Sahaja Yoga, some of us try to be one of them who are going to hell. If you have to save them, then try to fix your positions properly. Shri Ganesha has 4 hands. And the hand that carries the destructive weapon of Parasha is the one you have to be careful about. That is his job. And if you neglect him, that force will act. And act so vehemently that despite your realization, you may not be able to save yourself. Do not take your realization for granted. Unless and until your Ganesha is settled, your realization has no meaning at all. Watch yourself. Have you got adulterous eyes? Have you got an adulterous mind? What is your expectation about Sahaja Yoga? So many think that in Sahaja Yoga, God blesses you, then you must get a good amount of health, money, and position, power. The first thing you must ask for is the pure Ganesha, Nirmal Ganesha. Oh Mother, please give us the blessings of establishment of purity in our Ganesh principle. In relationships, in attitudes, in behavior, try to judge yourself. Are you innocent? Christ has said, anything against him may be tolerated, but nothing against the Adishakti. But I must tell you as your mother, it's not true. Maybe against me some things may be tolerated, but nothing against Christ the Lord. Nothing against Lord Ganesha. Everything that is done against him after realization will tell upon you, and you will be thrown out of the realm of God as absolutely degraded people. That is one thing that will not be tolerated, will not be forgiven, will never be acceptable. Whatever you have done in the past is finished now because you are a new bird. But after becoming this, if you try to take to these wrong ideas or to indulge into them, I cannot help you at all. After all, Shri Ganesha is my son. Because he is pure. Now he is not the only son I have. I have so many sons and daughters. And I have made you in the same way as I created Shri Ganesh, without the father, on my own. To your mother, nothing but purity of heart and purity of your body is going to please. Anything that is impure has to be thrown away. My name itself means purity. You can do it. You are empowered to do it. You have a kundalini to do it. But the first thing you have to do is to cleanse that. And the rest, you don't have to worry. Shri Ganesha will look after it. One chakra you keep clean, the rest is looked after. All your incurable diseases, right from all muscular troubles like myelitis and all that, all your incurable diseases, right from cancer onwards, all your psychosomatic problems, right from schizophrenia and everything, come because of the disturbance in Muladhara. When the roots are not all right, how can you cure the tree? Then any medicine can reach any center, any area, any place, any fruit. But if the roots are not all right, how can you work it out? Today you have called me here to worship Shri Ganesha within me. Shri Ganesha within me is a powerful identity. While worshipping him, you have to know that such a powerful thing you have to establish within yourself. And by that establishment, you have to manifest the powers of Shri Ganesha. And the power of Shri Ganesha's greatness is auspiciousness. It's a coefficient. It's a formula, we can say, in scientific language, that emits auspiciousness. It's a magnet in the Mother Earth. The same magnet is within you, which is Shri Ganesh. You leave me alone and I can tell you which is the north, south, east, west. Close my eyes, still I'll tell you. You know there are so many birds who fly out all the way to Australia, to Siberia, because they have that magnet with them. They have that innocence with them. There are so many fishes which have got actual magnet placed in them. Scientists should find out. In the same way, Shri Ganesha within us is magnetic. So a person who has Shri Ganesha awakened within himself becomes magnetic. And magnet attracts the steel, not dried leaves. It does not steel. And steel is like the Guru Tattva. The man with the steel, say. Man of steel. A person who has character, conviction, and who cannot be dominated by temptations is a man of steel. So this magnet attracts the steel. Steel has only one bad thing about it, that it is not pliable. It's rather dry. But the magnet attracts means it creates that special quality in the steel that it moves towards the magnet. In the same way, when this magnet is awakened within you, you will be amazed. Instead of people running away from your ashrams, they will be running towards you. I find it impossible. I go to any house. If they come to know I am there, God save me. Anywhere. Any place. So what is this magnet? It's pure love. Is pure love. And the concept of pure love is that it doesn't depend on anything whatsoever but on itself. It is the support of itself. It's like light that spreads just by its own nature. It doesn't want anything, doesn't expect anything. Just spreads all over and enlightens other people's heart. That's why they get attracted. Those who have not even seen me, those who have not even known me, just with my name I have seen. Places like Calcutta, we had such a problem, such crowds, that they said we have to call the police. I said there's no need to call the police, but we'll manage somehow. In Pune we had such crowds that the fellow who gave us the hall got a fright. He said, Mother, I'll give you a very big area where you can sit down in a big open place, but I am sorry, my hall, all will be finished. I said, you don't worry. Everything will be in proper place. We had such crowds that people were sitting on the ground, on the staircase, everywhere. Until I spoke, nobody moved an inch. You see, like a picture. And I spoke for 1.5 hours. Just like a picture. No movement of hand, feet, eyes, nothing. Just sitting like a picture. And the gentleman who owned that hall had never seen such a thing before. Throughout for 1.5 hours. No movement of any kind. What is it that working? Is the magnet. Even if you are the steel, it will attract. But if you are a magnet, then it will attract in such a way that it will never leave this magnet. So for yoga, it is important that you fix up your magnets of Shri Ganesha, who is the childlike personality. A child, just one child, everybody is attracted towards the child. One child gets stuck up somewhere in the air. Whether you are a Russian, American or an Arab, everybody would be worried about the child, what's happening to the child. They will not think it's an Arab child or an American child, no. Unless until it's a devil. Why this attraction for children? Because their magnets are intact. Their ego has not yet developed. Our ego had to develop because we had to decide in our own freedom what is right and what is wrong. So the ego developed was all right. Up to a point we should have developed our ego. But we overdeveloped it. And overdeveloped it. Overlapped the superego also. No conditioning. Nothing. We'll do whatever we like. Today we are wearing a half pant, tomorrow we'll wear a long pant, all right? Then we'll cut our hair or we'll do this, we'll do that. No conditioning of any kind. All superego was also covered. Ego. This ego would have been all right if you had kept your Ganesh tattva. And what is that? Is the wisdom power of Ganesha. The second power of Ganesha is that he gives you wisdom. If you see a farmer and a big professor or a very well educated man and talk to both of them, you will find the farmer has much more wisdom than this MAD, PhD. Why? Because he deals with Mother Earth every day. He knows the living process. He knows about the innocence of the Mother Earth. So an innocent person is the wisest among. A child who is innocent is much wiser than 10 ego-oriented people. So the second capacity of Shri Ganesha is that you become a wise person. When you speak, people start looking at you. You speak like Kabira, you speak like Nanaka. You speak like something that makes people feel their spirit. This is what I call is a Sahajogi. A Sahajogi who does not have wisdom is good for nothing. He comes to Sahajoga and he is like a bull in a china shop. Goes on hitting this person and hitting that person and hitting that person. And when you ask this 3 wounded person, they say that bull, the same bull. Everybody reports about the same bull. Oh, that's the one. All right. So it grants you wisdom. When you have the power of Shri Ganesha, your eyes are radiant. You get a spark in your eye, a light in your eye. When he is enlightened in you, then you cannot look at anyone with lust, and greed. But this glance is so powerful that even one glance is sufficient to purify thousands of people. Just the opening of the eyes are necessary. And you find whole thing changes into a beautiful morning from a complete dark night. Glance can awaken the Kundalini. The mother Kundalini cannot move unless and until Shri Ganesha gives the permission. He is like the vice chancellor sitting on all the chakras. He has to certify, all right, passed, go. On every chakra. And when the Kundalini rises, Shri Ganesha is awakened, otherwise Kundalini cannot rise. But then when he sleeps down, Kundalini is sucked by him. Now we think we have lost our innocence. That's not easy to be lost. It is not destructible. Only thing, what you have done is to cover it with something that cannot allow Sri Ganesha's principle to manifest in us. You have pushed it down. You have brought pressure on it. You have brought loads and loads of nonsense on it. That's all. But it never dies. It is an eternal principle of the whole universe. The another quality of a person who is endowed with Sri Ganesha's powers is that he removes all the hurdles. If one person of this nature is in some place, all the rest of the people who are nearby will be saved if there's an accident or if there's any problem which is destructive. All of them will be saved. You will find this happening too. He being the Ganapati, he is now the master of all the Ganas. He guides you. Sahaj Yoga cannot work out without Shri Ganesh. He is the one who is Sahaj. He is the one who creates all spontaneity of the world. He is the one who takes you to the right path. He is the one who gives you everything easily. He is the one who creates all the chamatkaras, all the magic, all the miracles of the world. He is the Ganapati. He is the one who is sitting on Ganas. In the sense that he is like the king of all the Ganas. The one who has pleased Sri Ganesha has pleased all the gods and goddesses. Because all the gods and goddesses are pleasing Sri Ganesha. So what is the need? And Sri Ganesha is very clever. He knows. Please. His mother is the only simple thing he has to do. To have all the powers of the world. Just keep the mother pleased. There are so many qualities of Sri Ganesha which can be described. He is the one who gives us the joy of eating. If you eat some food, you may like it, you may not like it. But He is the one who will tell you it is made by Sajubis. It is made by your mother. That means He gives you the taste of love in the food that is cooked for you. Because He is love. He gives you the ideas how to express your love. Once they asked me to sing a song. I used to sing very well once upon a time. But then after lecturing so many times, you see, I think I lost my voice. I couldn't sing well. I thought so. One day they asked me to sing a song and I thought of some song and sang to them. And after a year or so in a program, they said, Mother, we want to sing you a song. This was a song unknown to everyone. I don't know from where they got it, from where they made the tune. They started singing the same song. And such joy, it all became waves of tears in my eyes. I couldn't control my joy. Now all this feeling of joy comes from the devices produced by Shri Ganesh. He's busy creating relationships, beautiful. How? In a birthday, a child's birthday. What do we say? All right. So tomorrow morning, there's a bird is going to drop a present for you. And then the child gets up and sees there's no bird. It's only Ganesha who has given that. We can say he's a Santa Claus. He gives you ways and methods and he tells you how to delicately build up relationships, pure relationships. How you hide, how you wrap a little present, just put it there. And a person who has to take it sees it, oh God. And then you see that flowers, which you suddenly bring out and put there, is all Shri Ganesha's efforts, his ways, his suggestions. Among the creation, flowers are expressing Shri Ganesha's essence. And the essence of Shri Ganesha comes from the Mother Earth's essence, is the fragrance. So a person who is endowed with Shri Ganesha's blessings has fragrance. Sometimes chandan, sometimes roses, sometimes this gardenia. You just don't know from where the fragrance is coming. The fragrance is coming from Shri Ganesh. And that is what is the magnet within you. Such a person is fragrant, absolutely fragrant all the time. Shri Ganesha emits all kinds of fragrance from such a person. And that you can only feel when your Shri Ganesha is all right. There's no end to the description of this great deity within you. He's just settled down there. He's all the time there, waiting to be cleansed out, for him to raise his head like a lotus in the mud, to just help it out by respecting it, and he'll be there fragrant within you. So important for this country, where we have raised our head without surrendering it to the Virata, to the collectivity, to Shri Krishna. We have raised our head, with Shri Ganesha we bow down our head for all the bounties that God has bestowed upon us. All arrogance will disappear at the lotus feet of Shri Ganesh. He'll give us wisdom. He'll give us sense to understand. He'll give us power to overcome our arrogance that is within us. He is the one who is the giver of knowledge. He is the one who has given us light. Many people in India also worship Shri Ganesha. Go on, Shri Ganesh, Shri Ganesh, Shri Ganesh, Shri Ganesh. And do all kinds of funny things. That's like cheating yourself unnecessarily. It's so simple to establish Shri Ganesh within you. But understand that it is vital that you people who are Sahajogis should establish Shri Ganesh, which is a silent power within it. It doesn't talk. It's a silent power which acts. Just a power that's dynamic, without any noise, without any show. And that is what I would say that today, when I have said all these things from my heart, you, the Sahajogis, will establish Shri Ganesha within you. And from you, you will emit such powers that others will be able to establish their Shri Ganesha in this country. May God bless you.
మీరు శ్రీ గణేశుని శక్తిని కలిగి ఉంటే మీ కన్నులు ప్రకాశిస్తూ ఉంటాయి. మీ కళ్ళలో ఓ మెరుపు ఉంటుంది, కాంతి ఉంటుంది. ఆయన మీలో జాగృతి పరచబడినప్పుడు మీరు ఎవరిని కామదృష్టితో, సంకుచిత దృక్పథంతో చూడలేరు. కానీ ఆ చూపు ఎంత శక్తివంతమైంది అంటే కేవలం ఒక వీక్షణం మాత్రం చేతనే వేలాది మంది పరిశుద్ధ పరచబడతారు. కేవలం కళ్ళు తెరవడం మాత్రం అవసరం. దానికి గాఢాంధకారం అలుముకున్న కాళరాత్రి కాస్త ఆహ్లాదకరమైన ఉదయంగా మార్పు చెందడం మీరు చూస్తారు. మీ వీక్షణము కుండలిని శక్తిని జాగృతి చేయగలదు. శ్రీ గణేశుడు అనుమతించినంత వరకు కుండలిని మాత కదలలేదు. ఆయన అన్ని చక్రములను అధిష్ఠించే వైస్ ఛాన్సలర్ వంటి వారు. కుండలిని శక్తి ఊర్ధ్వముఖంగా వెళ్ళినప్పుడు శ్రీ గణపతి మేల్కొల్పబడతారు. లేకుంటే కుండలిని పైకి వెళ్ళలేదు. కానీ అది నిద్రావస్థలోనికి జారుకున్నప్పుడు శ్రీ గణేశునిచే గ్రహింపబడుతుంది. శ్రీ గణేశుని శక్తులను తనలో స్థిరీకరించుకున్న వ్యక్తి యొక్క మరొక విశిష్ట లక్షణం ఏమంటే అతను అవరోధాలన్నిటినీ తొలగిస్తాడు. అలాంటి ఉన్నత లక్షణం కలిగిన వ్యక్తి ఏదైనా ప్రదేశంలో ఉంటే అక్కడ ఒక ప్రమాదం జరిగిన సందర్భంలో అతనికి సమీపంలో ఉన్న వారంతా రక్షింపబడతారు. ఏదైనా వినాశకర సమస్య ఎదురైతే వారందరూ కాపాడబడతారు. ఈ విధంగా జరగడం మీరు చూస్తారు. ఆయన గణపతి కాబట్టి ఇప్పుడు ఆయన గణములన్నిటికీ నాయకుడు. ఆయన మీకు మార్గదర్శకత్వం వహిస్తారు. శ్రీ గణేశుని లేకుండా సహజయోగం పనిచేయలేదు. ఆయన సహజయోగి. ఈ ప్రపంచం యొక్క మొత్తాన్ని సృష్టి గావించేది ఆయనే. ఆయనే మిమ్మల్ని సక్రమమైన మార్గంలోనికి తీసుకొస్తారు. ఆయనే మీకు ప్రతి ఒక్కటి అతి సులభంగా అనుగ్రహిస్తారు. ఆయనే ప్రపంచంలోని అన్ని చమత్కారాలను, మొత్తం ఇంద్రజాలాన్ని, అన్ని అద్భుతాలను సృష్టిస్తారు. అంటే ఆయన గణాలన్నిటికీ ఓ రాజు వంటి వాడన్నమాట. శ్రీ గణేశుని ఎవరైతే ప్రసన్నం చేసుకుంటారో వారు అందరు దేవుళ్లను, దేవతలను ప్రసన్నం చేసుకున్నట్టే. కారణం దేవుళ్ళు దేవతలు శ్రీ గణేషుని ఎంతో తెలివైనవాడు. కేవలం తన తల్లిని ప్రసన్నం చేసుకోవడం అనే ఒక సులువైన పనిని మాత్రమే తాను చేయవలసి ఉంటుందని ఆయనకు తెలుసు. ఈ సృష్టి మొత్తంలో పుష్పాలు శ్రీ గణేషుని యొక్క మూల స్వభావాన్ని వ్యక్తీకరిస్తున్నాయి. శ్రీ గణేషుని మూల స్వభావం భూమాత నుండి వస్తుంది. ఆయన మూల స్వభావం పరిమళం కనుక శ్రీ గణేషుని అనుగ్రహాన్ని నిలుపుకున్న వ్యక్తికి పరిమళం ఉంటుంది. కొన్ని మార్లు చందనం, కొన్ని మార్లు రోజా పువ్వులు, కొన్ని మార్లు గార్డెనియా, ఈ విధంగా వివిధ పరిమళాలు ఉంటాయి. ఈ పరిమళం ఎక్కడి నుండి వస్తున్నది మీకు అర్థం కాదు. ఇదంతా శ్రీ గణేషుని నుండే వస్తుంది మనిషి మాతాజీ గారు చెప్పారు. శ్రీ గణేశుడు అన్ని రకములైన పరిమళాలను అలాంటి వ్యక్తి నుండి ప్రవహింప చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. మీలోని శ్రీ గణేశుడు సరైన విధంగా ఉంటేనే మీరు ఆ పరిమళాన్ని అనుభూతి చెందగలుగుతారు. ఆయన అక్కడ కేవలం స్థిరపడి ఉంటారు. ఆయన ఎల్లప్పుడూ సహజయోగం కొరకు నిర్మలపరచుటకై తయారై ఉంటారు. మీరు ఆ మూలాధార చక్రమును గౌరవించి అది చిక్కుల నుండి బయటపడినట్లుగా మీ సంపూర్ణ సహకారాన్ని అందించాలి. అప్పుడు ఆయన పరిమళ రూపంలో మీలో ఉంటాడు. మీలో శ్రీ గణేశుణ్ణి స్థిరపరచుకొనడం అత్యంత సులభం. సహజయోగులైన మీరు ఒక నిశ్శబ్ద శక్తి అయిన శ్రీ గణేశుణ్ణి మీలో స్థిరపరచుకొనడం మీకు ఆయువు పట్టు లాంటి అతి ముఖ్యమైనదని గుర్తించడం అవసరం. ఆ శక్తి మాట్లాడదు, అది పనిచేసే నిశ్శబ్ద శక్తి. ఏ విధమైన శబ్దం చేయని అత్యంత చురుకైన శక్తి, ఎలాంటి ఆర్భాటం ప్రదర్శించని శక్తి. ఈ విషయాలన్నీ నేను నా హృదయం నుండి చెప్తున్నందున మీరందరూ శ్రీ గణేశుని మీలో స్థిరపరచుకోవాలి. మీ నుండి మీరు ఎంతటి మహత్తర శక్తులను ప్రసరిస్తారంటే దానివల్ల ఈ దేశంలోని ఇతరులు తమలోని శ్రీ గణేశుని స్థిరపరచుకోగలుగుతారు అని శ్రీ మాతాజీ గారు చెప్పారు.